Tom Brady. You guys still want him? All you Dolphin fans out there? Florio? I see you, Florio. Oh, the Tom Brady thing is going to be on the table. Yeah, the only thing he needs to be on is a massage table because he's old as hell. Get the hell out of here with Tom Brady on the Dolphins.
What are you doing?
He's 100. Guess what? It's an incredible run, but it's over. It's been over. Enough. Tom Brady on the Dolphins. Get the hell out of here.
That's what I don't understand. Like, let's look at this realistically. Would you get rid of your quarterback to bring in a quarterback who has been great but is old as hell in either Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in hopes that you can win a Super Bowl? Okay? When I don't know what y'all think about Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a hell of a quarterback and he's great and he's going to be in the Hall of Fame or whatever. But guess what? He only has one.
And he chokes a lot.
Are you going to risk that? Or are you going to risk what you saw what Tom Brady looked like yesterday?
Yep.
Add 6 months to that.
Yep.
You want to play that game? Do you want to take that risk? Because if it doesn't work, or say it works, you're getting 1 year, and then you're starting all over.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're wasting all that money you put into your team because you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you got time. Don't lose. That's
and sometimes I wish when I hear Dolphins fans complaining, sometimes I wish they'd just do it, just so I could say, I told you.
Yeah. You know, like I had some guy who's mad at me on Twitter today because, like, oh, you want Tua around again? He's a great guy. I'm like, okay, who do you want? Who do you want?
That's always wait. We've had this conversation for however many years, and my question is, if you're gonna replace your quarterback, same thing with Ryan Tannehill. Give me an option.
Like,
and there's never been an option. That's why you had Ryan Tannehill for so long.
But like, this is a time where there's.
Oh, remember,
there's
Kyle Orton. Woo! Bring us Kyle Orton. Idiots.
Like, this is a year where there's options. Are there better options?
Right. Because you have to understand the one skill that Tua possesses that a lot of these other quarterbacks don't, and you see it on a game-by-game basis, Tua's ability to be accurate, to make quick reads, and get rid of the ball quickly. A lot of quarterbacks don't have that. And so you think this offensive line is, put a quarterback back there that holds the ball. Just like, have you seen Skyler the last 2 weeks? Holding on to the ball, and it looks like nobody can block for him? That's what it looks like. Tua helps those guys. So if you have an option, I'm open to options. I want the Dolphins to win too.
Do tell.
Give me one.
Do tell.
Anybody.
We talking Lamar? Okay.
How accurate is he?
Where was he this weekend?
Wait. And here's the other thing. He's been just as hurt as Tua.
Exactly.
So what are you talking about?
I think, and listen, I'm a Lamar fan. I like Lamar Jackson.
He's been just as hurt as Tua. And guess what? The last 2 years, when the team needed a quarterback, he was not available because of injury. And you idiots out there are saying, let's sign him.
And you got to pay him $1 gazillion.
You got to pay him $1 gazillion. And guess what? What do we have questions about Lamar? Is he a great athlete? Can he change the game? Can he make plays that other quarterbacks can't? But in an offense that requires quick release, quick decisions, and accuracy, how does Lamar Jackson fit in there? Because your other option is to do very similar things with the RPOs, but guess what? You also have in the back of your mind, you just gave somebody $200 million, and he's been hurt the last 2 years.
I'm more scared about. Like, I feel like I believe in Mike McDaniel could build around a guy like Lamar Jackson. I believe in Lamar Jackson as like as a player, but it's the health. It's the health. He's and his superpower is he's the best athlete on the field. And like eventually that goes.
And if it does go
in comparison, now if I'm the Ravens, I just saw what my options are.
Right.
But if I'm the Dolphins and I already have Tua,
correct.
I'm like, all right,
If
I don't have to decide yet. I'm paying him $200 million.
right, but here's the deal with Tua. You have one more year, right? And it's uncomfortable, but if you're still not sure,
you can pick up his
you
options,
you can pick up his option,
which, by the way, is like half the price of a franchise tag.
right? And then so technically you have this will be his 4th year coming up. So right. You can pick up the option, and then you can give him the $35 million for 1 year.
It's not. Well, yeah, you could franchise them after that.
Okay,
if you wanted to.
So even with that, you're still giving Tua $50 million, right? And if you're not sure, okay, but you can't like think about this. Kirk Cousins has been getting guaranteed contracts damn near since he got into the league.
Mm-hmm.
Been franchised twice, all these things, right? He ain't never led nothing in the NFL. Tua had led 5 or 6 categories in the NFL. That's not an easy thing. You're not going to find another guy to do that.
They were top 10 in offense in forever. They haven't
since Dan Marino.
Yeah, and their quarterbacks coach is getting OC interviews by multiple teams right now.
Right.
Like, that I look at all that stuff. I see it positive. I get it. The concussions are a nervous thing. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but I'm not saying. But like, I was the guy who was like, man, the way Tua's playing, you probably extend him in the offseason. The concussions flared up again. Okay, guess what? You don't have to go down that route unless Tua's going to give you some crazy quarterback discount, which isn't going to happen because this isn't baseball. Right. So, you go, you roll in next year. I think that's why the Dolphins got out in front of it. We know what the Dolphins not committed to Tua sounds like. We've been there. We know. Oh, he's our quarterback. Chris Greer wouldn't be near a microphone if they had real questions about Tua being their starting quarterback.
Right.
Chris Greer didn't have to talk yesterday. There's a reason he wanted to get out there and put it out there. Just say, like, all right, let's just go into this offseason. No narrative. You got the Florios of the world, and you got the Cowherds of the world who are going to try and make things a thing and say things like Tom Brady's on the table. He's not on the table. He's off the table. His career's off the table. He's done. Cooked. Washed.
And for people to, and I told you this was going to happen. Father Time is undefeated. When it comes to a crashing halt, it doesn't look like when John Elway rode off the sunset. It looks more like when Peyton Manning did.
Look, props to Tom Brady. Nobody put up a better fight against Father Time than Tom Brady did.
Right. But but
it gets you.
It gets you. Undefeated. Undefeated. And as you saw last night, okay, you want that man throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? How many times is Tyreek gonna run back to her and go, bro?
Come on, man.
That's all you got. That's all.
Little duck farts.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Like, be sad. Look. Sometimes, because of the end of the season, you're not thinking clearly. But this team, as currently constructed, if they were healthy, I think would have been in a better position this year.
Yeah.
I mean, but you had so many injuries.
Of course.
And even when they started getting relatively healthy, like that front four up on defense, come on.
Dude, there's going to be plenty of people if the Bills, face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Plenty of people will be picking the Bills to win that game. The Dolphins have been right there with that team all year.
Who the hell's DVP?
DVP, Devontae Parker?
I don't know. Why? Hey, who's DVP?
Well, can you tell us why where that's coming from?
No, because he says Tua has stopped getting injured. Leroy, you always criticize DVP for being hurt.
Devontae Parker's referring to.
He's just working. Dude, what are you talking about? Devontae Parker's missed more games than he's played in. That's different.
Yeah, and it's like it's a hamstring here or there. I get it, but and also Devontae Parker had one good season. After how many? Can you believe
this is the arguments that we're gonna have? We're gonna have a Devontae Parker versus Tua and how many games they played? Did you even did please? Did you even look to check how many games Devontae Parker missed with boo-boos to the point where the organization had to come out and say, he's got to understand the difference between being hurt and being a little banged up. They said that, not us.
Let's hear from Chris Greer. Yesterday, met with the media. He says Tua is the starting QB going forward. Some people are happy. Some people are mad. People are lashing out on me on Twitter.
Why?
Because they think that they think Tua's going to break any moment, and it's going to set the franchise back.
Really? Here, what if I told you that Lamar Jackson has missed more games than Tua in the last 2 years?
I wouldn't be surprised by that. He's been injured both years.
So why does everybody want Lamar Jackson instead of Tua when you're basically in the same spot? But you know that Tua works in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
You are unsure what the offense will look like if Lamar Jackson was here. These are the chances and the things you can't take chances on.
If you told me next year Tua wasn't going to be the quarterback and you told me it was going to be Lamar Jackson, I would still be excited because I think Lamar Jackson's really good. And I like how, but I'm not going to sit here and say, like, we can't sit here and say it's not a risk. It is. You're investing a ton of money into Lamar Jackson, which you are currently not into Tua. You don't have to decide on long-term yet. You don't,
Correct.
You don't have to do that. So I don't understand like that fear from Dolphins fans right now. If it's going to be one of these things where it's like, well, we're bringing in Lamar, like, you think it's a sure thing? I don't know. That and that you have to pay him immediately a ton, which he deserves.
Yep.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I think the Ravens were stupid not to pay him. Probably would have played that playoff game if he had a contract.
You think? They said he was limping around the facility.
Probably more of a chance he plays. If you have that deal.
To be honest,
I don't blame him for not playing.
But that right there would bother me.
What?
That he could have played and he didn't because
he didn't have a contract?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
Because either you hold out, but once you commit, you commit.
Interesting.
And he's never done or said anything that would lead you to believe he would make a decision like that. Right? The dude came in, he didn't make a stink. He didn't do what everybody else that's done his position, right? And the Ravens turn around and thanked him by screwing him.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I guess if you want to know what method works, the Kyler Murray method works.
Make a stink.
Make a stink.
Let's hear from Chris Greer. Here was him yesterday.
Yeah, I would say with Tua, he's our starting quarterback. So, I don't know how we could say it any more clearly. We've been that way through this season and what he's done and what Mike and Tua, Bevel, Chandler, the coaching staff have all done. They've all worked tremendously hard, all of them together. So, Tua's, we anticipate him, talking with the doctors and consultants and everyone we've dealt with. We fully expect him back next year, 100% ready to go. And then we'll get through all those decisions. Like I said, just like we talked about every player on the roster. And obviously I understand because it's Tua, and that's why the question's being asked. But we'll go through our process. But he is our starting quarterback and will be next season.
There you go. Which, look, you put out the fire right away because you got the PFTs of the world. You got the Michael Lombardi's. Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio.
Oh.
He's what we like to call a pot stirrer.
No. These acronyms are killing you today, Leroy.
Yeah. BJJ, PFT,
OPP.
Yeah, you know me.
This was Chris Greer when asked about the contract situation with Tua. Here's what he had to say.
Chris, how do you approach Tua's contract coming up with the 5th-year option and, if possible, an extension?
Just like I said, we'll have discussions and talk through it, just like we'll have discussions with Christian Wilkins, all these other guys who are coming up here. So
we like to discuss.
Taking the 5th-year option. I think everything's on the table for us. So
it'd be great if you just like, nah.
I was thinking that same thing.
5th-year option.
Did you hear how J.K. Dobbins spoke after the game? Like how blatantly honest he was that if we would have had Lamar, we would have won.
Yeah.
I want that kind of honesty from Chris Greer and stuff like that. I just wanted to just flat out say it.
I don't know who had the tweet, but they're like, yeah, if two of the teams had their starting quarterbacks, the 2 and 3 seed would have been home this weekend. That's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, like, it's okay to admit that. It's okay to admit that you have a better chance to win it with Tua. I don't understand why this is such a controversial take. Yeah. You guys act like you have been spoiled with this great offense that you've been watching for 20 years. You haven't. This has been the most fun you've had watching Dolphins games in the longest time. Bombs to Tyreek Hill, bombs to Jalen Waddle, speed all over the place. And you watch Skylar Thompson for 2 weeks, you're like, let's go get Tom Brady. He's 100.
Skylar Thompson was old football, old Miami Dolphins football
that
we were used to.
Yeah, he is. It's like, it was an admirable game. Don't get me wrong. Balls to the Dolphins.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
He's not bad. That's what it was. No, he's not bad.
No, in fact, I think Skylar Thompson, like Mike was asked yesterday, did he do enough to secure QB2? I think yes. I think he definitely should. I think you should just, instead of spending $6 million on a Teddy Bridgewater, just go about this like Skylar Thompson's your backup next year. And if for whatever reason Tua doesn't work out, you have another young QB right behind him that you're grooming and giving more reps to. I don't understand this whole thing. Let's go get Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's go get Derek Carr to back up. Like, all right.
First of all, those guys are going to go to teams where they can play right away. They ain't going to. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't ready for a backup role, right? That was an extenuating circumstance that he ended up being back up there.
But counterpoint to that would be there were no jobs either. Like there weren't really any opportunities for him. There were no jobs. Like it's there's not as many opportunities out there as we think there are because a lot of the stinky teams are going to draft their QBs, and there's other, or are in year 2 with their QBs or are locked into a guy. Like he has to. And look, I would pick a place where it's like this guy's not that good, and I can get an option there. Like if you were to look at the Jets, whatever the Jets are going to do, and say, Zach Wilson's going to poop the bed in 3 weeks. I'll take that job. That's the way I would look at it. If I was Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wait.
What?
What a way to go into a franchise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So let's look at the options at quarterback. Saints. Carolina.
Yep.
The Raiders.
Yep.
Houston.
Yep.
Where are we with Tennessee?
Good question. I don't know.
Because do they believe in Willis?
Like they did.
Hell no, they don't.
Doesn't feel like they did.
Who do they have starting?
Indianapolis.
Oh, of course.
Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta.
Sure.
So you got seven spots.
Yeah, but how many of those people are going to go and probably draft somebody? Like Houston's going to probably draft a quarterback. So there's
3 top tier quarterbacks. So that's 4.
Okay. And then it's Derek Carr,
Jimmy Garoppolo, others.
Those are your top 2 guys?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd invest in Jimmy Garoppolo. He always gets hurt.
Yes. But you would invest in Lamar Jackson?
No, I mean, like, I would, for at least Lamar Jackson's a star. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo's not a star. Like, if I'm a franchise that's desperate, at least Lamar Jackson's a star. Like, if I'm the Raiders, like, Mark Davis wants the attraction that, like, he's like a bit upset because the Raiders fan hasn't translated over there. You get Lamar Jackson, you're going to sell 1,000 Lamar Jackson jerseys. He's a star. You bring him over there. But they don't have an option. Like, they're rats off a ship on Derek Carr.
Which is amazing. Didn't he lead the league in passing?
He was called a Hall of Famer by Devontae Adams before the season.
Yeah, they went to college together.
Well, woo! Can I hear Mike McDaniel on them having to teach Tua how to fall? What? He's agreeing with you.
Our plan is kind of approach it like you do a young quarterback who's not used to sliding. We have ideas and thoughts on how to help him, because that is a consistency that we've noticed as well, is that they're ground induced. So we're like everything else, do everything in our power to help coach him, and that's a new way to attempt to coach.
There you go. Trust falls, dude.
So let me get this straight, you jackass. So the way to stop Tua from getting concussions is to have him fall on his back and hope somebody catches him?
Trust falls, dude. That's how it's got to work.
You trust that offensive line?
Well, I wouldn't trust if it was Liam Eichenberg back there, but Teron Armstead, I would.
I mean, not on Wednesday or Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
It's game day.
I mean, he falls back and where's Teron?
So do they need him to go? Do they need Tua to face plant? Is that what they need to do?
Dude, let me explain to you which is so crazy about this. When he gets tackled, instead of falling like as he gets pushed, he turns and falls on his back like that's better. I'm like, no, dude, you keep getting knocked senseless. It ain't because of you getting hit.
One, he got shoved. He didn't really, he didn't turn.
So you can still turn and fall on your stomach. Dude, I'm telling you, after a couple of falls on the back, I never fell on my back to where I couldn't control how I was falling.
Did you do a drill or did you just know how to do it?
I just know what it felt like when I fell on the back of my head.
Could you teach Tua?
Huh?
Could you do it?
We need you, Leroy.
No, because it's something
on,
that
Leroy.
you kind of
Come
have to
on,
learn.
Leroy. Teach Tua how to fall, Leroy.
Teach him, man.
Come on,
Go
man.
golfing with
You
him.
can do it. Leroy, 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 Leroy.
Couple more outbursts like
Please
this.
teach Tua.
Couple more outbursts like this.
Please teach Tua.
Finishing my order.
Please teach Tua.
Oh, wait. No Chinese food? You know, that's what I'm here for. Really.
What? No, fine. Just give him a little refresher course, you know? Maybe you go golfing with Tua, all right?
Isn't he going golfing with Tua this weekend?
That's what I was told. I heard that.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, didn't you tell us
You
that?
said it.
TMZ.
Don't you guys golf at the same
TMZ
place?
said it.
TMZ.
We do.
Tobin, Marcos,
Well, okay, so how about this?
Jennifer.
You go up to Tua, right? It's at the tee. And, you know, he's getting ready. And he goes, hey, Uno. Wait for a second, dude. You know that thing you do where you go, ah!
Yeah.
And then you show him the Leroy method.
Ooh.
Here's what I would say. Wow. You know when you watch MMA
Mm-hmm.
and the guy just starts kicking another guy in the shin,
Mhm.
eventually he gets that shin the hell out of the way,
True.
right?
Yes.
Because it hurts. That's kind of how you learn. Like, hold on. I keep getting knocked out when I fall this way.
That's good.
I probably shouldn't fall this way.
Well, you tell him that.
I would like to think that an adult, grown-ass man could figure that out on his own.
Hey, dude, what's the harm in telling him?
Yeah, come on.
What's the
just
harm?
A little lesson.
What's
Little
the harm,
refresher.
dude?
A little Leroy
What's
lesson.
wrong with you?
Leroy lesson.
Yeah.
You know why I'm not?
Double L, dude.
Because any suggestion I have that came from you has the makings of reading the toes, and I don't want to seem like an ass. There's only one ass on this show. Chop, chop.
It's chop chop.
Please teach Tua. Please teach Tua.
Give him a little LL.
Come on, dude.
LL. Leroy Love.
Yeah. Leroy lesson.
Sure.
Leroy lesson.
Okay, give him. a little
Somebody
LL.
says, can they call in and teach and ask Leo to teach Tua? I have a little chant for him. Absolutely. 305-567-0560. Well, absolutely. You can call in and get to another guy says he's too small, can't control how he falls once he gets a bear hug
Wait.
and pancaked.
What if I told you that Tua
Hmm?
is bigger than Drew Brees?
He
Then
is?
what?
Oh.
No, he is. But like, so what? Like, what is we've gotten past that. Now everybody's signing these small quarterbacks.
Hold on. Hey, 560, you're on the air.
Leroy, you're the man. Please teach Tua. You're the only one that can.
Yeah! Come on, dude. Teach Tua.
Wow. What
Professor Hoard.
What have you done?
What do you mean?
What are you doing?
You're just you told us
Yeah.
I don't know what you heard, but this is the way I heard. Jennifer, you tell me if you heard this.
Mhm.
Jennifer.
But did
Jennifer.
I not hear from Leroy that he had the same issues that Tua did and he fixed it? So
No.
why can
what I said
why can't the
was
Dolphins
you said.
enlist you
what
to
no
fix Tua's issue?
hold on.
Yep.
What I
yep.
said was, after falling on my back and slamming my head against the turf or the grass or whatever, I realized, ow, I don't want to fall like that anymore.
Right.
Like at some point, you learn, you adapt.
Who's bigger? You or
Because it
Tua?
hurt.
Yeah.
What
it's fine.
size-wise? How are we?
I'll tell you,
Tall.
Leroy.
We're the same height, but you're a little swoller, you
Lord.
know.
If I type
Who's taller?
Leroy,
You know,
Leroy's
got a big
height-
caboose, you know.
Man, all he does is a little bottom heavy, you know what I'm talking about. 5'11", Leroy, according to Google, it says you're 5'11".
No,
Is this true?
I'm probably a little taller than that.
Whoa, okay,
All right.
6 feet. All right, let's see.
How tall is Tua?
Tua height?
What's he listed at?
Oh, 6'1".
6'1".
6'1".
He's
Let's see
not
the
6'1".
weight. They say you're 225. Are you 225?
How much was your playing weight?
220, 225.
So what was, and what's Tua?
216. Pretty
yeah.
solid.
Not far.
Come on,
Not
dude.
far off.
Pretty-
Please teach
pretty
Tua.
samesies.
We
Please
play,
teach
oh.
Tua.
You're not getting your orange chicken.
One of those days.
Oh no.
Back after this.